Yay me, an absolutely stunning hairstyle tutorial just for you guys. What I like about this is that contrast between light and dark. Starting with straightened hair, it can also be blow dried straight. Section off as I usually do in my hairstyle tutorials from ear to ear, and then the dome in the crown section. I'm going to take a piece of area and section that off into a rubber band. This is on my right hand side and right behind the ear. Pop away the rest of that hair that's not needed for now. Taking down the dome at the crown section, we're going to backcomb this into the dome shape that I'm showing you there. So I'm going to do this in 2 sections. How many sections you need depends on how much hair you have. Using a tail comb, I'm just going to do a medium back comb using small strokes and pushing that into the root. You'll notice I didn't hairspray. I wanted this area to remain a little bit softer looking. So that's the second section going in. What I'm going to do now is temporarily just twist it into the shape that I want, tidy up the hairs that are showing underneath, and then use these clips just to section that out of the way. Working on the ponytail, take a tiny sliver of hair there and really pay attention to what I'm doing here, because I'm only going to show you once, that famous line. I'm backcombing very tightly to the root and smoothing down. Now I'm going to do this about 5 or 6 times. What I want to achieve here is a sort of stiff ribbon like effect. So what I'll be doing is spraying, combing it through, and each time I comb it through, this section is going to get wider and wider. So it's really important to start with a thin sliver to begin with, so don't have too much hair in that ponytail. Now that I've worked that 5 or 6 times, you can see how different that looks and how stiff that's become. I'm now going to wrap that around my thumb. Which side you do this doesn't matter, whether you do it left or right. You need to be comfortable with whichever hand that you usually work with. Then taking another section and doing a medium back comb on that to about halfway through, again doing that flattening, spraying and smoothing, and then I'm going to mold this with my fingers. So I'm going to go one way, and then I'll take the next section in the opposite direction, which you'll see a little later. So as I go along, I want to spray it only very lightly, very light spray. My spray is quite light anyway, and then just drape that. And as you drape, pull up the edges and make it look like the petals of a flower, and use these silver clips as your fingers just to hold them in place so it doesn't budge. Use bobby pins in the bottom there if you feel that yours is not stable. I've put a couple of pins in just to hold that into the rubber band. So now I'm working the last section on the opposite direction and wrapping and molding that around as I go along. Tip for you, if I'm going too fast, there's a cog on the YouTube video. Click that and you can actually slow-mo this video down so you can see it in slow motion. Once you've decided you're parting, do a regular braid, but take in from both sides to get a really nice thick braid. What I'll be doing then is pulling these out slightly and also taking in the center of that dome that we created so that it's all incorporated into this one braid that then becomes part of this back sort of area. Rubber band that off and secure that just to the base of that rose there. And don't worry about that gap between that dome there at the top, because it's going to be covered with the jasmine flowers that I placed there. And this is why I didn't pin, because you can take those out and there's less pins in the hair. So draping the front the way you want, whether you take it all the way back or the front. I've decided to do a front drape because I haven't done that in a while. And taking that over the rose, again using these clips as my fingers, and then I'm going to braid the rest of the hair there. As I braid, I'm going to start pulling out as well and making that look thicker and more petal-like. I'm placing that on top of the rose, and as I go along, I'm going to pull up the petals even more and then just use these as to hold that in place so it doesn't move. Work all the way around and then tuck the tail in under the braid. So continuing with my Jasmine hair garland theme, I'm applying fresh jasmine to the gaps there, that little gap between the dome, and then I'm just going to drape it just above the braid. You can use as many as you like. Me and Abdul decided just to use the one. Then taking the rest of the hair that's left and wrapping that around. Now this is from the fringe, and again I'm just wrapping and twisting to make it smooth from the front. So from the front I don't want it to look like there's anything other than a bun, because in reality when you do this on a client, the flower is going to be like the hidden surprise. As the person turns around wearing the rose, they'll just get a gasp from anyone who's looking. So guys, I would be so honoured if you tried this hairstyle for yourselves, and if you do, tag me with the hashtag #LookNisha.Davdra. I'd love to see how yours is and what your variation of this is. All the tools and products and the gadgets that I've used, the details will be in the description bar below. If you like this tutorial, please do subscribe. Please do subscribe and subscribe. It will mean the world to me. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you like this hairstyle tutorial. If you would like me to create some more using Gujarat and other types of hair flowers. Thank you so much for watching for 6.5 minutes, and I'll see you soon. Bye.